Welcome back to another episode of Code Blue in America, your breaking news segment. On this one, we hit the nail on the head. Tariffs, truth, and total denial. The Trump administration's economic fantasyland. In today's segment, we dive into the alternate economic universe occupied by the Trump administration, a place where tariffs are winning, trade wars are good, and economic pain is always someone else's fault. Well, let's get to it. Either this administration is in complete denial about the reality of tariffs, or they genuinely have no idea what they're doing. At this point, it's hard to tell the difference, and the president especially seems to be steering the ship with a blindfold and a bullhorn. Take, for example, the now infamous CNBC clip featuring host Joe Kernan challenging Trump economic advisor Scott Bessent. When Bessent tried to downplay the impact of tariffs on Ford Motor Company, claiming the losses were idiosyncratic, Kernan quickly reminded him that Ford lost money in the last quarter because of tariffs, even though it builds nearly all its vehicles in the United States. That's not an outlier. That's reality.
Mr. Secretary, I have a real specific question to ask you about some of the unintended, maybe, consequences of tariffs. Ford hasn't lost money in a quarter since 2023. They make almost all their cars here. Now, they're doing, I think they're trying the best they can to have U.S.-made vehicles, but they still import some parts. As a result, $800 million in tariffs pushed them into wiped out the profit entirely. Are there still carve-outs available? If a company like Ford comes to you and says, look, this is how this affected us, or comes to the president, this is a direct consequence of what's happening, that's not what was intended with the tariffs, was it? And it's not what we want, I don't think, to cause Ford to report a loss, even though they're trying their best to make all their cars here.
Yeah, and look, I admire, Joe, I admire Ford. Ford, I believe, has the highest U.S. production of any auto manufacturer. I think that there were numerous circumstances with Ford. I believe that the Ford, F-150, 250, their big truck series is made out of aluminum instead of steel, which is different than other cars. So I think maybe the aluminum tariffs have hit them harder. We will be negotiating with Canada on those. So, I think with Ford, it's probably been idiosyncratic.
According to reporting from the Wall Street Journal and Bloomberg, Ford said the steel and aluminum tariffs imposed by Trump cost the company over $1 billion in profit, not theoretical losses, not idiosyncrasies. Cold, hard financial damage directly tied to policy. But denial is a feature, not a bug, in Trump's trade rhetoric. The president once famously claimed that China was paying the tariffs, a statement debunked by economists across the board, including the Nonpartisan Tax Foundation, which found that American consumers and companies were footing the bill. According to a report by the New York Times, Trump's tariffs on Chinese goods cost American businesses tens of billions of dollars in higher import prices, forcing companies either to absorb losses or pass the costs on to everyday Americans. And yet, Trump and his allies continue spinning these policy misfires as patriotic strategy. And just when you thought you'd seen the full highlight reel of the Commerce Secretary's greatest hits of nonsense, here comes Scott Bessent, tap dancing into the spotlight with a hot mic and a hotter mess of an idea. Yep, he actually floated the notion of privatizing your Social Security. But wait, it gets better. On the very same CNBC interview that felt more like late-night comedy than policy talk, he sort of kind of maybe tried to walk it back.
Did people misunderstand that some of your comments and extrapolate it to Social Security, Mr. Secretary? Or was that actually something you're thinking about, the privatization?
No, it was ridiculous. I was giving an interview, and I was talking about the $1,000 baby bonds that every American citizen, every newborn is going to get. The Democrats hate this program because it brings capitalism and markets to every American, not just their constituents at the upper end. And over time, the compounding is going to be an incredible supplement to Social Security, not a replacement. It is a complement. And what I said was Social Security will continue as it is. It is intact. Everyone will get their check every month. But it's very exciting to me that there could be a big payout at the end of, when people turn 59 or 60 for the first time, Joe, because as you know, bottom 50% of households in America do not have financial assets, and President Trump is giving them financial assets. I believe that the reason you all have the mess you are about to have in New York, Caracas on the Hudson, is because people have given up on a market-based system. And the Trump administration is going to make every newborn a shareholder, and they are going to have a stake in the system. When you have a stake in the system, you do not want to bring down the system. So the power of compounding could mean a big payout that would be a complement, not a substitute.
Too late, buddy. The internet saw it. America heard it. And Grandma is not amused. Greed much? Because if there's one thing more out of touch than privatizing Social Security, it's pretending it was just a misunderstood TED Talk. What are these folks thinking, or better yet, what are they smoking? Whatever it is, it ain't covered by Medicare. This administration has turned economic mismanagement into performance art making, working Americans the collateral damage of a fantasy trade war that never had an exit plan. The truth is, no one in this White House appears to have a clue. And that's not just a critique. It's a crisis. And that is the cold truth on Code Blue in America, only on OGM News.
All right, friends, here's the deal. We need your support to level up our game. How can you help? Simple. Like, share, and drop a comment. Shower us with your love, your applause, or even your brutally honest displeasure. We can take it, we promise. Your feedback fuels us, even if it stings a little. And before you dash off, go ahead and smash that subscribe button on YouTube. Follow us everywhere: Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Heck, if you're feeling retro, send us a carrier pigeon or a smoke signal. Stay awesome, stay witty, and we'll see you next time.